Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, very good morning. So, in the last class, we have discussed about the classification of signals. So, just we will go through what are the classifications are there. So, the first one was continuous time and discrete time signal. Second one is odd and even signal. And third one is periodic and aperiodic signal. And fourth one is deterministic and random signal. So now we are going to discuss the fifth classification. So just note down the fifth classification is energy signal and the power signal. So energy signal and power signal. We should know what is the formula for energy signal and what is the formula for the power signal. So in general, you all know very well. Power is represented in two ways. Power is represented in terms of voltage as well as in terms of current. So in general, power we will write it as P is equal to V square divided by R. Similarly, power can also be written as I square into R. So power can be written both in terms of voltage and in terms of current. And here, since we are dealing the signal with respect to time, I am representing the power in terms of function. That means P of T. P of T is the power. So in terms of voltage, it is V square of T divided by R. And in terms of current, P of T is equal to R into I square of T. So if you see the power formula, can I say the power is directly proportional to square of the amplitude. Square of the amplitude. Either it can be a current or it can be a voltage. Whereas I can consider this R as a constant. So I can say from the above two relations, power is directly proportional to square of amplitude. Square of amplitude. So this amplitude can be voltage. If the amplitude is voltage, then this proportionality constant will be replaced by 1 by R. So 1 by R into V square of T, V square of T. Similarly, power is directly proportional to square of amplitude. In this, now if I replace amplitude with current, then the proportionality constant will be replaced by R. So keeping this in knowledge, what we will do is, we will write the power in simple terms, that is only with the help of square of the amplitude. So you can see in the screen, power is equal to square of the amplitude. Power is equal to square of the amplitude. So this power we will call it as instantaneous power. Instantaneous power means power at that particular instant of time. Power at that particular time is called as instantaneous power. So instantaneous power is equal to x square of t. You know why we are writing in terms of square of the amplitude, because both in terms of voltage and current, power is directly proportional to square of the amplitude. So in order to obtain the formula for energy and power signal, so I am taking power simply equal to x square of t. So now I want the total energy. Since the title says it is an energy signal and the power signal, I should know the formula for total energy. We will be solving n number of problems based on this, calculating the energy, calculating the power of the given signal. As you all know, there are two types of signal. One is continuous time signal, other one is discrete time signal. So first I am writing the formula for the continuous time signal. So that means energy E is equal to limit capital T is nothing but the time period. T tends to infinity, integral minus T by 2 to plus T by 2, x square of T dt. X square of T. X square of T is nothing but the square of the amplitude of the signal. If we integrate that with respect to T over the limits minus T by 2 to plus T by 2, and also substituting the limit T tends to infinity, I'll be getting the energy. So this is the simplest way of representing energy. Further, I can simplify this energy formula. Since you know T tends to infinity, instead of separately writing limit T tends to infinity and over the integration minus T by 2 plus T by 2, I can just substitute infinity over the T in the limits of integration. So what it happens is minus of infinity by 2. So infinity by 2 is again infinity only. So it becomes minus infinity to plus infinity x square of t dt. So initially the energy we are writing in an expanded form energy formula, later which is simplified by substituting the limit t tends to infinity over the limits of integration, such that we will be getting minus infinity to plus infinity x square of t dt. So this is the formula for energy. So I told already there is an instantaneous power. Instantaneous power is P of T, which is equal to x square of T. So now I am going to calculate the average power. So there is a difference between the instantaneous power and the average power. Instantaneous power means only at that particular time. So I am calculating the power which is equal to square of the amplitude. So now I am calculating the average power. So average power P is equal to limit T tends to infinity. If I map the energy formula and power formula, I can say limit T tends to infinity, here also it is same, and integration minus T by 2 to plus T by 2 x square of T dt is also same. Then what is the additional parameter present in P, the formula of P? Can anybody tell me? What is the additional parameter? 1 by T, very good, 1 by T. So 1 by T is the additional parameter which is present in the power formula. This you should remember. So I have given the formula for average power. So now, so far I have discussed the energy formula and power formula for the continuous time signal. And you know there is a periodic signal also. Under classification, we have discussed the periodic signal also. So now, average power of the periodic signal I want the formula for the average power of the periodic signal. So periodic signal, so P is equal to 1 by T integral minus T by 2 plus T by T x square of T dt. So here what is missed over when compared to the previous problem? What is the missed thing? So I should not use what is absent in this formula when you compare both the powers. So this is the average power of continuous time signal. This is the average power of the periodic signal. So when you compare the formulas of both, so here in periodic signal, we do not have limit T tends to infinity. So T tends to infinity is absent in the periodic signal of average power of the periodic signal. So that is the difference between the power, average power of the continuous time signal and the average power of the periodic signal. So now, so far we have discussed everything for the continuous time signal. I should know the formula for the discrete. Yes. Hello.
Chirudeep is waiting in the waiting room.
Who is that?
Chirudeep, ma'am.
No, actually, I do not have any request. Just ask him. I do not have any request here.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So for the discrete time signal x of n, I should know the formula. So the formula is E is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, then the square of the amplitude of the signal. Square of the amplitude of the signal. So this was in continuous time. The energy was equal to, in simplest form, it is minus infinity to plus infinity. For continuous time signal, you have to take the integration. So x square of t dt. This was for the continuous time signal. So for the discrete time signal, integration will not happen. So you have to sum all the samples. So sum is present for the discrete time signal, whereas integration is present for the continuous time signal, except that everything is same. So here also it is square of the amplitude of the signal. Here also it is square of the amplitude of the signal. So now I have to again write the power in a power for the discrete time signal. So power for the discrete time signal is 1 by 2n. You know, for continuous time signal, you said 1 by t is extra for the power. Here, for the discrete time signal, in place of 1 by t, it is 1 by 2n. 1 by 2n. summation n is equal to minus n to plus n x square of n, where this n tends to infinity. So this is the formula for the average power. Similarly, I want the average power for the periodic signal also. So average power for the periodic signal, even in the previous continuous time signal also we have discussed what is absent. The absent thing was the limit. Limit was absent. Even here the limit is absent. Even here the limit is absent. And if you compare these two expressions, since I have taken for the discrete time signal, the summation from n is equal to minus n to plus n, here it was 1 by 2n. But here if you see, I am taking the summation from n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. I am taking from the origin. You know, this is the scale. You know, this is the scale 0, 1, 2, up to n minus 1. Left hand side, right hand side. Here, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, up to minus n minus 1 like that. So if I take only the positive side of the time x-axis, then I will be having n is equal to 0 to n minus 1, and here in place of 1 by 2n it becomes just 1 by n. So these are all the formulas related to the energy signal and the power signal for the continuous time signal and the discrete time signal. So now you will be having questions in the exam. Find out whether the given signal is an energy signal or the power signal. So how do I find whether the given signal is energy signal or the power signal? Here is the definition. A signal is said to be energy signal if and only if the total energy of the signal satisfies the condition. So total energy should be between 0 and infinity. So if they are asking in the exam, identify the given signal is an energy signal or the power signal. So what can we do? Can anybody tell me? If they ask you to find out whether the signal is energy signal or power signal, what calculation we have to do? As per this definition, what calculation we have to do? Here they have given the condition, if and only if total energy of the signal satisfies the condition. That means what we are supposed to calculate. Please unmute it and reply. So what we have to calculate, which formula we have to use, and what we have to calculate such that we can make out whether the signal is energy signal or the power signal. Yes, Bhavana?
Total energy.
Total energy. So total energy, can just guess the formula. What is the formula for continuous time signal? E is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x square of t dt. So this is the formula I will use. I will calculate the energy of the signal. If my answer is suppose 50, if my answer is 50, can you people tell me whether it is an energy signal? The condition of energy signal is 0 to infinity. The value should be between 0 to infinity. So you tell me whether this, if the answer is 50, whether it is an energy signal or the power signal.
Energy signal.
Very good, very good. Energy signal. Because 50 is between 0 and infinity. I have a same question again. When I calculate the energy using the formula, if I am getting the energy as infinity, you tell me whether the given signal is an energy signal. When you calculate the energy, if your answer is infinity, then can you say the signal is energy signal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Suhas? I think Suhas only replied. Energy E equal to infinity, if you get, will it be an energy signal? What is the condition?
No.
What is the condition here? Energy should be between 0 and infinity, less than. See, energy is greater than 0. If you go through this condition, it says that energy is greater than 0. At the same time, energy should be less than infinity. Am I right?
ma'am.
Energy should be greater than 0 and less than infinity. But if I get infinity directly when I calculate, can I say it is an energy signal?
No, ma'am.
No, I cannot say it is an energy signal. I hope you understood. So suppose
Yes,
if,
ma'am.
Ma'am.
yeah, if the energy is coming to infinity, then we have to use the formula for power, because the signal can be energy or power. So once this energy condition is not satisfied, I should try to calculate the power. So definitely the energy will fall in one of the two conditions. It can be an energy signal or it can be a power signal. So once I calculate using the power formula, if the condition is satisfied, then I can come to the conclusion that the signal is a power signal. So when we solve the problem, you will understand much better. So now, again, I should know what is the condition for the power. A signal is a power signal if and only if the average power of the signal satisfies the condition. That means when you calculate the power of the given signal using the power formula, the power should be between okay.
ತಿಂದ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ
Hello,
ಹೌದಾ
Dhanush, mute yourself.
ಸಾರಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಸಾರಿ
I hope nobody is listening the class, chatting, chit chatting. Okay, now, see now the next condition is energy and power signals are mutually exclusive. You know the meaning of mutually exclusive. Either one condition will be satisfied, and a signal cannot be both energy and power. That is the meaning of this. A given signal can be either energy signal or can be power signal. It cannot be both. Okay. So that is the meaning of this mutually exclusive. And one more important condition when you attend the competitive exam, this condition is very, very important. An energy signal has zero average power and power signal has infinite energy. Your power signal has infinite energy. To make you understand this, I'll just take back to the formula. The condition what we have discussed is the power signal is having infinite energy. You see here, this is my power signal. This is the formula of power. You know, power inside it consists of energy. You can see here. Power consists of energy. So power signal can have infinite energy. See here, energy formula is limit t tends to infinity, integral minus infinity plus infinity. So I will just write it again here. My power is equal to, if I replace limit t tends to infinity, integral minus t by 2 plus t by x square of t as just e, then what is left out here in this formula, it is 1 by t. All of you understood what I have done now, right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so in the formula of power, I have just replaced the terms related to energy. So if I replace it like this, then I'll be having 1 by t into energy. Since the limit t tends to infinity always, here also your t tends to infinity. So I can say, I'll come back to the condition which is given here. A power signal can have infinite energy, but the energy signal can have zero power. That's it. So now, periodic and random signals are the power signals. In the earlier class, we have discussed the different classification of the signals. You know, periodic also one classification and random signal is also one classification. Both the signals comes under power signal. Deterministic and non-periodic signal comes under energy signal. So in the exam, if they ask you to find whether the given signal is power signal or energy signal, you can just see the signal and you can just see whether the signal is looking like periodic repetition, then indirectly it says that before calculation itself, you can judge that the given signal is a power signal. So if in the question, if they ask you to find out it is an energy signal, then you see the given expression or given signal. If it is deterministic and non-periodic, so you can guess that this belongs to energy signal before the calculation itself. So these are the points you should remember so that you can easily conclude with whether the given signal is power signal or the energy signal. So I have simple problem here. For the classification of energy and power signal, you can leave 2 pages in your notebook. You can copy down the notes later. But right now I want you to solve the problem. This is taken from the prescribed book. Find out the total energy of the rectangular pulse. Find out the total energy of the rectangular pulse. Find out the total energy of the rectangular pulse. So they have given here the rectangular pulse. You know what is the meaning of pulse? Pulse I told, it will not repeat. It will be having the signal only at or around the origin, along the y-axis. So they have given the rectangular pulse. So it is having a time period t1 and the function is x of t. Function is x of t and the amplitude is capital A. So now I want to find out the total energy of the rectangular pulse. You know, the energy signals are non-periodic. Even the given signal is non-periodic. It is not periodically repeated. So my formula is E is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x square of t dt. In place of x of t, I will be substituting capital A amplitude. So A square dt. A square dt. Since it is a rectangular pulse, I do not have the values like minus t2 plus t like that. In the diagram itself, they have clearly mentioned this span is t1. So I no need to substitute the limits. I no need to do much simplification. So since a square is a constant, when you do the integration, you will be getting back a square. And when you integrate dt, you will be getting t. So this t, you do not have any upper limit and lower limit. Directly, this t takes the value of t1 as per the diagram. So the answer is a square t1. I hope you are all understanding this. Do you have any doubt in this? All of you are writing it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now the next problem is average power. I want the average power of the square wave. I want the average power of the square wave. See how nicely the question they have framed it. I know it is square wave is a periodic signal. So you know for periodic signal only power exists. That's why directly they have asked you to calculate the average power. Average power of the square wave. So they have given the square wave like this. You can see the screen. Square wave, just make a note of it, square wave. I want, directly they are asking you to calculate the power. So if you see the square wave, so you have the amplitude. The square wave amplitude is between 1. This is 1 and this is minus 1. Okay? Amplitude is between 1 and minus 1. And you have one complete period. It is t. So I know the formula for square wave. Power p is equal to 1 by t integral minus t by 2 plus t by t x square of t dt. And in place of x square of t, you all know very well, the amplitude of x of t is 1. So 1 square is 1 only. 1 into dt. So integration of dt is t. As per the formula of power, the limits are from minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. So if you substitute minus t by 2 to plus t by 2, when you simplify, can you get me the answer when you simplify? All of you people are solving it. What is the answer after simplification?
1.
1. Okay. See, you can ask me a question, ma'am. In the earlier problem, you told to consider this T1 directly. Even here also, I can consider the time as per the diagram also. I will show you. P is equal to 1 by T. So after integration, I will be getting T within the brackets. Now, so as per the diagram, instead of minus T by 2 plus T by T, I can just substitute the value from the diagram, the limits. So it is from 0 to T. See here you have time 0 and 1
Ma'am,
complete
your
cycle.
voice is breaking.
Okay, now, hello, am I audible?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I hope you understood what I am trying to convey here. As per the diagram also I can substitute the limit. So as per the diagram it is 0 to T. You see here, it is 1 by capital T and I will be substituting the upper limit and the lower limit. T minus 0 is T only. So T gets cancelled. My answer is just 1. Okay. So preferably, I want all of you to follow as per the diagram, the limits. In the earlier problem, we have used the limit as T1 directly. Here also, we can use the limit as 0 to T. So accordingly, the power value is 1. So similarly, we have the another problem to calculate the power of the triangular wave. The average power of the triangular wave. So even here, the triangular wave is a periodic signal. It is keep on repeating. It is keep on repeating. You can see here, it is keep on repeating. So it comes under the power signal. The formula of power signal is this: 1 by T minus T by 2 plus T by 2 x square of T dt. See, I have not completed this problem. What I have done here, you can see in place of x square of T, I have substituted the amplitude. It is 1 square. I have taken the integration of dt as T, but I have not substituted the limits. Can you see the diagram and tell me what will be the limit here?
0 to 0.2.
0 to 0.2. Okay, I have not completed this problem. You just substitute the limit as 0 to 0.2 and you just complete this problem. Okay. I hope you are noting down the question. You can do it later. 0 to 0.2. And this is very important. So far, we have seen the calculation only for the continuous time signal. You should know how to do the calculation for the discrete time signal. So total energy of the discrete time signal. See, I told you, if they give some expression or some diagram in the exam, they ask you to find whether it is energy signal or power signal. I told you the clue. The clue says that if it is a non-periodic signal, definitely you can see the diagram here, it is non-periodic. So you can guess that this is an energy signal so that you can calculate only the energy. Okay. But here directly they have asked in the question, calculate the total energy. So formula is summation n is equal to the lower limit. We can choose it from the diagram. The lower limit as per the diagram. What is the lower limit as per the diagram? What's the lower limit? Where the signals are present?
-1.
-1 and the upper limit is +1. Okay. And the amplitudes for all the samples are 1. Okay. The amplitudes for all the samples are 1. So it is 1 square here. 1 square. X square of n, it is 1 square. So when you expand the summation, you know how to expand the summation. So my energy E is equal to, when I expand the summation, I'll be substituting in place of n -1. At -1 also my amplitude is 1 square, and at n is equal to 0 also my amplitude is 1, so it is 1 square. And at 1 also, n is equal to 1 also my amplitude is 1, so it is 1 square. So the answer is 3. I think this is very simple calculation. So not much difficulty. Have you all done this now in your notebook?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now the next problem is, we will see one sample problem for the average power in case of discrete time signal. So if they do not mention it is an power, then you can easily guess you need to find only the power because it is periodically repeated. Power is applicable for the periodic signal, you know very well. Energy is applicable for the non-periodic signal. Don't forget this. So now the power formula is 1 by n summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x square of n. See, I have to take always n, capital N, you know it is nothing but number of samples. So I have to take only one complete cycle since it is a periodic repetition. If I take only one complete cycle, what will be the capital N value? Can you just count and tell me?
8.
8. Very good. Capital N value is 8. So it is 1 by 8. 1 by 8. Okay. 1 by 8, you know. Summation lower limit is 0, you know very well. Upper limit is, you know, capital N is 8. So 8 minus 1 is 7. Okay. 8 minus 1 is 7. So throughout for all the samples, the amplitude is 1. So it is 1 square. You know how to simplify it. So get me the answer. Hello.
1, ma'am.
1. Okay, 1. So now we have successfully completed the classification of signal. See, these examples are not sufficient. We will solve more problems once we complete the theory part. Okay. So now the next title is basic operations on signal. What are all operations we can perform? So that is the next topic. First, initially, the flow of the subject is like that. We discuss what is signal, we discuss what is system, and then later on, we discussed the different types of signals. And now, the next topic is operations, what and all we can perform on the signals. Okay. So again, this is classified into two types. Operations on signal. It is classified into two types. One is, you can just make a note of this, basic operations of signals, basic operations on signals. There are two types. One is operation performed. Operation, we can perform it on the independent variable. Operations performed on the independent variable. Independent variable, can anybody tell me which is the independent variable we see from the first class? Independent variable. Independent variable is along which axis? Anyone? Yes. Independent variable. Hello. Or anyone who knows the answer can tell me. Make it fast. Ambika. Are you people there or not? Ambika, Suhas. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ. Don't be silent.
Don't know, ma'am.
Don't know. What about Suhas?
No, ma'am.
Don't know. Have you people copied the notes in your notebook? Notes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sandra, you can answer this question. If you have written really the notes, you can answer this question. Independent variable, what is the variable we have discussed? The very first class I told, signal is a function of one or more independent variable. Single dimensional or one dimensional. In that case, what was the independent variable?
X, ma'am.
X, independent variable. Refer your notes if you have written. You people said
Time.
yeah. Yes, time. Very good. Time. Time is the independent variable. So now I'll come back to this topic. Basic operations on signals. So there are two operations are performed on two variables. One is operations performed on independent variable. Independent variable is nothing but time. And the next one is operation performed on the dependent variable. So dependent variable is nothing but the y-axis. Normally along y-axis we take the amplitude of the signal. So I will just draw the diagram here. This is my diagram, just sample diagram. Okay. So one is t, the other one is x of t. For example, so I can perform the operation either on the independent variable or on the dependent variable. Dependent variable is nothing but your amplitude. So that is the basic concept behind this topic. So always performing operation on dependent variable is very easy. Please make a note in your notebook if you are writing it. Performing operations on the dependent variable is very easy compared to performing operations on the independent variable. Independent variable, if you perform the operation, becomes you may feel difficult to analyze. So it is always easy to perform operation on the dependent variable than the independent variable. And listen, everyone, the class may end in another 1 minute. Okay. So you can join back immediately as soon as this gets disconnected. So till that time, I will just start the first operation which we will perform on the dependent variable is amplitude scaling. So can I have an answer from you, Bhavana Shri? Bhavana?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me, dependent variable means on what we will perform the operation. Dependent variable means either the amplitude or on the time.
Both.
See, I am